Okay. I do think Kingdom Context is wrong about Irenaeus' view on the law of Moses. I don't think he's standing up for the God of Moses, because the problem with the Gnostics is that they think Jesus saved us from the Old Testament God, and he's trying to show continuity between the Old Testament God. Now, does that mean he thinks the whole law of Moses is applicable? No, he thinks it's the same God. But what Irenaeus does say that's undeniable, okay? I'm not trying to be self-serving here, because I don't think this is quite right anyways. But what Irenaeus does say is this. It's unmistakable what Irenaeus is saying here about the law. He doesn't think the entire law of Moses is applicable. He does think it's the same God. Okay? I've read through this carefully. I do disagree with Kingdom and Context. Irenaeus is not promoting the law of Moses, because listen to the statement. But he is sticking up that it's the same God, and that the law is still the same law from the same God. He says this: preparing man for this life, the Lord himself did speak in his own person to all alike, the words of the Decalogue. And therefore, in like manner, do they remain permanently with us. And then in case you're unclear about this, that he's saying the Decalogue remains permanently with us, receiving by means of his advent in the flesh. Okay, so the law is transformed into Jesus. The law is Jesus. No, by his advent in the flesh, that subject, the Decalogue, which is permanently with us, along with Christ, by reception of his advent in the flesh, him coming in the flesh, extension and increase, but not abrogation. Okay. And in case you're not clear that he's talking about the Decalogue that gets increase and extension, he's talking about the Sermon on the Mount. That's how the Lord in his advent permanently made the Decalogue with us by extending it and increasing it. He magnified the law at the Sermon on the Mount. He quotes the Ten Commandments and he shows the spirit of the law, the true issue with the Decalogue. Therefore, making it extend and increase, but not to be abrogated. And in case you want to try to twist that up, which you can't, unless you're dishonest and evil, Kelby, evil, because God said people would call good evil and evil good, and what the Lord does and what the Lord God gave as a law as an extension of his character is not evil. Those who oppose it are evil, calling good evil and evil good. And then he goes on to say, the laws of bondage, however, were the ones promulgated by the people, to the people by Moses, suited for their instruction or their punishment. That's the blessings and the cursings. But not the Decalogue. It's not abrogated. It's extended and increased by way of Jesus coming in the flesh, magnifying the law is a fulfillment of Isaiah 42:21, and extending it with increase, not abrogation, via the Sermon on the Mount. So Irenaeus certainly believes God is the same consistent God from the Old Testament. So what is the problem with the Gnostics? You are a Gnostic, Kelby. You think Jesus saved you from the law of God. You are wrong. You are crazy. You are mistaken. Because sin is transgression of the law. And Jesus cleanses us from sin, not from the law. The law is in the Ark of the Covenant in the temple in heaven right now. Okay, that's God's temple. Okay, you are wrong. Sorry to tell you,